Alright, this is the 7th video in a series on additional QGIS information. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a 3D map like this one that I put on Twitter. In fact, I'm going to be making this exact same map to show you guys. So, first, I'm just going to go through the usual steps of downloading the shapefile, although there will be some slight differences. What's happening? Wait. Shapefile. Reload page. Download. Shapefile. Accept. Okay, I don't know why I was doing that, but we have it downloaded now. And then I'm going to right click, WinRAR, extract here. And then this is just the the usual setup steps, although there is going to be one thing that I'm going to change just to make it slightly easier for me. And I think it would make more sense for you to do the exact same thing, which is that instead of just creating the PCT column, I'm going to create a total column and a PCT column, and that'll make more sense later. You don't need to create the total column, but it just helps. So I'm just going to quickly do this, and then copy this down, and then we are going to save this as DE_file. Okay, great. And then we are going to, we're going to open QGIS. I think I also need to click the shapefile to the shoreline, so I'm going to do that. Let me just get that file really quickly. Right. And then we're just going to wait for QGIS to load, and then we'll just drag the stuff in, and I'll show you what to do next. Right, looks like it's loaded. So now what we're going to do is we're going to drag in the DE_2020 and DE_final. This is similar to how I showed you in the QGIS selection map tutorial 2.0. I'm going to project this to Delaware, enter, and then we're just going to join it like usual, and then clip it. So join, that's good, apply, and factor Jefferson goes clip, and run. Okay, great. And then I'm going to unselect these, right click, properties, and then now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do the ramp color. I'm just going to turn this off, and what you're going to do is set your node data color. I'm going to do that, and then press apply. So that'll be your node data color when you make the map. Then what you're going to need to do is you're going to have to go to plugins, manage and install plugins, and then and then you're going to want to install QGIS23JS, this one. I already have it installed, but you're just going to want to install this. Once you do, you'll see this button over here. This thing with the green triangle. Yeah, the QGIS23JS exporter. So you're going to want to click that. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to check the thing that says clipped under a polygon. You can see it's highlighted in blue on the left side because I just did that. And you'll see in the bottom right it says building clipped, and right now it is fully in there. So next what we're going to want to do is on the clipped thing, the thing that's highlighted in blue, we're going to want to double click that. And then on type polygon, we're going to want to change it to extruded. And so for height, actually first we'll do color. So color we do expression, and this is going to be a ramp color expression. So we'll do ramp underscore color, full color, scale underscore linear, fields and values, and then comma space -1101. Okay, apply. And then we can see it colors in like that, and it looks like it also sets the height by default to that number. But if we want to color the height by expression, we can also do it in formulas. Now, usually I would recommend doing it by vote density, or you could maybe just do the height by total votes, but I think that's probably not as good as doing it by vote density, since these, it just makes more sense. Because if you think about it logically, the area of the shape, since the base of the shape is measured in like square kilometers, since that's the area of the shape, and you're multiplying by the height, you would want that denominator to also be a unit of area, and density is a unit of area in the denominator. That way the total area of the three-dimensional shape would be proportional to votes. So basically what I'm saying is it's best to do the height in terms of vote density for this map, at least in my opinion. And the way we can do that is, since we made that total field earlier, this actually becomes much easier because we just do total divided by and then dollars area, which gives the area. If you look in, I don't remember if it was video 3 or whichever video it was, but one of the videos earlier in this additional information series goes into the dollars area function, and this is an example of how you can use it. And then, since it is proportional, you can see if we just press OK and press apply, it looks like it's not really done anything to the height, and that's because of the way this works out, total divided by dollars area, since you have to remember dollars area is in meters squared, or at least that's how it is on my computer, and since 1 kilometer is equal to like 1,000,000 meters squared, that dollars area thing is very large, which makes this number very small, so that's why it looks like there's basically no height, because there basically is none. So what we can do is we can add a multiplying factor to that so that's actually visible, and I'm going to start off with 1,000. Now I doubt that's going to do anything, but we can just check to make sure. And yeah, it looks like it's done barely anything, so I'm going to multiply it by an additional factor of 100, and then press apply. Looks like it's still done nothing. Maybe we can apply by a factor of 20, see if that does anything. Still nothing. Then maybe we can apply by a factor of 15. Let's see if that does something. And yes, it does. And now we can see clearly the height of the things. Now, if you also want to do it how you did it in, well, first of all, if you just want to export this as is with no animation, you can, unfortunately, this tool doesn't allow you to export as like a GIF or PNG. But what you can do is, actually, I think it might allow you to export as a PNG. But if you just wanted to export this, it has an export to web setting, and you would just export this as is. But if you want to add an animation, what you're going to want to do is click on camera motion. And then the way I did it in a circle in the video, I just started with this initial position with a plus. By the way, you can see if you drag with left click, that allows you to rotate it. If you drag with right click, it allows you to move around, and then you can obviously scroll in and out with the scroll wheel. And then if you, how do I undo that? Okay, well, I thought, okay, I'm just going to do this. There. Okay, so that's where it was initially, I think anyways. And then what we are going to want to do, if we want to, oh, now I'm able to click it. Okay, so I'm on keyframe 1. I'm on keyframe 1. I don't know why it wasn't moving to it earlier when I clicked it. So yeah, basically what you're going to want to do then, if you want to make it a circular motion, click the plus for keyframe 2. Actually, no, I'm going to subtract this. Yes. You want to start on keyframe 1, then you want to rotate, and then if you see the thing in the bottom right, oh, by the way, what I was doing, you can click on, I'm clicking, like for example, if I click on that top Z thing, it moves me to the top. If I click on the right X thing, it moves me to the right like that. So since the starting position for keyframe 1 is there, the way I had it spinning clockwise, I believe, and to do that, you need the camera to move counterclockwise, which means you want to click on that right X. So you want to click on the right X, and then with your left cursor, you want to drag down so that it is covering the bottom blue dot like that. And then you're going to want to add the plus, so that is your second keyframe, and then you're going to repeat this 2 more times. So you're going to click on the right Y, and then you're going to drag with your left cursor down until it's covering that blue circle, and then click plus. And then you're going to want to click on the right X, and then you're going to want to drag down until it covers that blue circle, like that. and then click plus. And then to add the final keyframe so that it is going in a circle, you want to click on keyframe 1, click a plus, it'll add keyframe 5 right below it, and then you're going to want to drag that right below keyframe 4. And then you can see if you can check it for looping, and you can press play, and this way it'll have a smooth looping animation where the state looks like it's turning clockwise, and there's no cuts in it. But I'm going to press stop. Then what you're going to want to do, first of all, if you want to export it, I'm going to first untick this loop so that you'll see. So what you can do is File, Export to Web, and this thing doesn't really matter. I mean, index.html is like the basic thing. If you know HTML, index.html is like the basic thing. Output directory, I'm just going to save this to my computer, but you will see that basically what it does is it generates like some HTML files and some CSS files and some other files, which basically you can also upload to like a website if you want to have this as a website. And then page title I'm not going to do, but what you want to make sure is if you want to open this on your computer, you need to check enable the viewer to run locally. And then if you also want the animation, you need to check this, otherwise it won't allow you to do the animation. And then also I like to do 3D viewer with .gui panel because that just makes it easier. And then I guess we can also start animation once it's loaded. So I'll click export. And then once this exports, we can go to the map folder, and you'll see it creates this index file and I guess a CS file, JS file, and some other stuff. But the index file is what you're going to want to open, so I'm going to double click this. And you'll see in the top right it has that thing, and now it's loading like this. And then if you wanted to create this as like a GIF or a PNG, you would just take a screenshot or a video and then convert that to such. One thing you'll see though is that when you press play on the animation, it only goes around once and it doesn't loop. I'm just going to wait for this to end just so that you can see that. So yeah, it stops, and the way you can fix that is if you go in here, you just have to make sure to check the loop box, because otherwise, yeah, it'll do it like that. So export to web, exports, and then you can override it. It'll be fine. And then if we open it again, I'm going to open it really quickly. You will see the animation play, and once it turns to the other side, it's going to keep going. It's not going to stop. But then basically, yeah, as I said, if you want to convert this into a GIF or whatever, what I did when I made it in my tweet is I recorded using, it's actually the software I'm using right now to record. It's called Lloydlow Game Recorder 1.10.9. I don't think you can get this software anymore, actually. I mean, I searched it up, and the download links online look a little fishy, so I honestly wouldn't trust that. I'm actually going to stop this animation. But yeah, one good free software which I know, which is pretty well known, is OBS. So if you want to try that out, or you could search online for other free softwares. They're all out there. And then to edit it, to like crop down like the size of the window, and also to cut it so that it perfectly loops over in the video. You can use an editing software. There are many free ones out there. The one that I used for it was called Kdenlive. I can type it in here, Kdenlive. And yeah, it's just typical editing software. You can, do a lot of stuff with this. So yeah, this is what I use to edit it. And yeah, that's basically it for this.